It's all covered in today's China Truths.
A large volume of information from Chinese netizens indicates that an increasing number of young people are passing away suddenly. A blogger on a mainland Chinese social media platform expressed sorrow, saying, "This year feels particularly strange. Why are so many people passing away? What kind of year is this? This year is particularly strange, don't you think?" On March 15th, a blogger on the mainland platform Douyin, known as Changsha Xiongda, posted a video revealing that a younger relative had recently passed away. Without any warning, without any symptoms. The relative suddenly fell ill, was taken to the hospital, and within a few days, they were gone. Referring to recently deceased public figures like Khalil Fong, he said, "I feel that so many people are passing away. So many people are passing away." The blogger noted that he had never seen anything like this before. Why is the mortality rate so high? Many of those who passed were in the prime of their lives, so young, and seemed perfectly healthy beforehand. He stressed, "This is all happening around me." He continued, "What kind of year is this? Brothers, this is really strange, really strange." Blogger, "I feel that so many people are passing away." In the comment section, netizens resonate with his concern. Doctors reportedly say more people in their 20s and 30s are passing away. A netizen from Fujian commented, "It might be because of that injection. Even kids around 10 years old have passed away for no reason." Another added, "In my husband's village, people between 35 and 55 are suddenly passing away. It's very odd." A user from Hubei shared, "Since March this year, 3 of my relatives have passed away." And another added, "My husband was 49 when he died from a sudden heart attack last year. I even know someone who hasn't taken cold medicine in over 20 years. A Hunan netizen wrote, "A doctor friend of mine said during dinner today that more and more people in their 20s and 30s are passing away lately." Another echoed, "I really don't know why. Several people my age, born in the 1970s, have passed away." Users from Chongqing and Inner Mongolia also weighed in. "2 of my relatives passed away in their sleep this year, and after the pandemic, many people may pass away suddenly at any moment. There are heart and lung issues. I'm not exaggerating." From Xinjiang, a user recounted, "On March 19th, my 45-year-old brother passed away in his sleep. On March 21st, my 51-year-old aunt in the same village also passed away unexpectedly. On March 25th, another uncle from the same village, aged 69, passed away suddenly. Then on March 28th, my 81-year-old relative passed, and on April 3rd, another uncle died at 68. I truly don't understand what's happening this year." Sudden passing of young and middle-aged officials, scholars, doctors, and influencers also reported. According to mainland Chinese media, on April 18th, Wu Shengjiao, the 41-year-old district chief of Mainland district in Haikou, Hainan province, passed away from a sudden illness while on duty. On April 8th, Li Haibo, a 41-year-old professor at Ningxia University and one of the world's top 2% scientists, passed away suddenly. On April 6th, Dr. Chen Jie, 35, an orthopedic surgeon at the Second People's Hospital of Yuhuan, Zhejiang, died from sudden cardiac and respiratory failure during a break between surgeries. In April alone, several young internet influencers also passed away suddenly. On April 28th, 46-year-old toy uncle Hekayan passed away unexpectedly. On the 21st, 39-year-old Chuan Gei from Linzhou, Henan, died of a sudden illness. On the 11th, 28-year-old Zheng Shi, an influencer with nearly 3 million followers, passed away at home from illness. On April 2nd, 38-year-old Yang China, an Argentinian influencer known as the foreign daughter-in-law, died from sudden hypoglycemia. Another Douyin blogger, Changsha's son-in-law picks up a good house, shared a video saying a friend in the funeral business told him something deeply troubling. In 2024, the number of farewell ceremonies for people born in the 1980s and 1990s has doubled compared to the past 3 years. The youngest was only 28 years old. The most affected age group was 35 to 40. Among these, 67% died from sudden cardiac arrest and 21% from advanced stage cancer. The post-80s generation, victims of ideological control and tragedy. According to the Clean World Platform's program Wei Yu Sees the World, China's post-80s generation, currently in their prime and forming the backbone of society, is becoming the most affected group by sudden death, including government officials, university professors, doctors, business executives, farmers, and more. Since February this year, the trend has not slowed down. Wei Yu Sees the World argued that the post-80s generation has been thoroughly brainwashed by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, since childhood. They grew up during the peak of the CCP's atheist indoctrination and were raised with a materialistic worldview, while their traditional beliefs were systematically destroyed. After the Cultural Revolution, this generation was fully steeped in atheism, dismissing faith as superstition. I can guarantee that 70% of the people in Shanghai can't afford their wages. You may not believe it when I tell you this. Now, the larger companies are all thinking about cutting salaries and laying off employees, let alone the smaller companies. Whether they can survive this year is another matter. Look at Shanghai now. The tenants in the major commercial office buildings are eager to change their jobs every month. I deal with bosses from all walks of life every day. Almost every one of them has various online loans and microloans. You can imagine how difficult it is to make a living in the real world now. However, which boss is willing to get himself heavily in debt and have to borrow from Peter to pay Paul every day just to keep the company alive? I dare not imagine it. If even the bosses are having such a miserable life, how can the employees be any better off? What happened to physical stores? Are we really going to starve everyone to death? Quick haircuts on the roadside are really everywhere. Have you ever seen one a few years ago? Anyway, I haven't tried it. Even in first-tier cities like Shanghai, the 15 yuan quick haircut model is everywhere. Before 7 p.m., the once bustling Life Square is empty, and you can't hit a single person with a stick. Whether it's a hair salon, a home visit shop, a clothing store, or a department store, there are basically very few people. What's going on? Compared with the previous few years, it is a completely different picture. As the Sino-US trade war escalates sharply, the Chinese economy is entering a deep cooling that is silent on the surface but shocking in reality. Shanghai, China's largest and most prosperous city, was once full of business districts, crowded with people and extremely bustling. It was an international metropolis that people yearned for, and it also had the highest pension in the country, which was coveted. Today, this economic beacon known as the Pearl of the East and the Paris of the East is like a leaky ship carrying the dreams of millions of people slowly sinking into the abyss. Today, we are going to talk about the story of Shanghai Thing. I arrived at Shanghai Hongqiao Station today and found that all the non-local people in Shanghai seem to have run away. There are not many people at Hongqiao Station. This is the situation at Shanghai Hongqiao Station at 7 o'clock. If it was Friday last year, it would be really crowded with people. Today is Friday and there are basically no people here. It is bustling. Moreover, when I came here, the road was very smooth and there was no traffic jam. Where have all the people in Shanghai gone? Once you enter Hongqiao Station, it is also bustling with people. It seems like it can't even catch up with normal times. There are really fewer people in Shanghai. When will Shanghai's economy get better? How bad has the current living environment become? Do you know? A video to make you face the reality. You must have heard of Shanghai Lujiazui, right? It is right at the foot of the Oriental Pearl Tower, and next door is Tongfu Yipin. Then you see the C position here. Most of the shopping malls are closed. Not only here, you also know Xintiandi, which is also home to top-notch luxury homes that cost 300,000 yuan per square meter. Even the first-tier shopping malls across the road are closed. Even our richest people have seen a decline in consumption. This is Shanghai, the most developed city in China and even in Asia. I wonder what the situation is like in your second and third-tier cities, or even county towns. Post it in the comments section and see, it should be even more horrific. You wouldn't believe it, but in Shanghai, the most miserable people aren't the street sweepers or factory workers. They're the ones who look wealthy. I've lived here over a decade and worked with banks for 8 years. Every day I see customers in suits, driving luxury cars, living in million-yuan homes, yet they worry over gas money and scramble to pay debts. They carry millions in loans, with tens of thousands in monthly interest. Their biggest wish? To live like ordinary people, with no pressure. Have you noticed how empty Shanghai feels this year? After the new year, it should be crowded, but many homes can't be rented out, and the streets are quiet. Popular jobs now are Didi drivers and food delivery, but the pay is low. Earning 4,000 yuan a month, how much is left after rent and bills? Is there still hope in Shanghai? While drinking tea with a colleague in loans, he asked if I'd noticed how few people are left in Shanghai. Homes sit vacant, roads are smooth, shops and restaurants are empty. Even vendors at the wet market say business is dead. Shanghai is said to have 24 million people. So where did everyone go? Back to their hometowns after business failures? Left for better jobs elsewhere? No one seems to know. Shanghai's most desperate group is emerging. Those who can't pay their mortgages. Some sold their homes and still owe hundreds of thousands. Wage cuts and layoffs are hitting hard. I sell houses in Pujiang, Minhang. Lately, many insolvent landlords are rushing to sell. They bought at peak prices with high-interest loans, expecting gains, but now prices keep falling. Selling means huge losses. Not selling means default. It's a vicious cycle. As the U.S.-China tariff war intensifies under CCP retaliation, state media keep boasting about China's massive domestic demand, but reality says otherwise. In March, consumer goods sales dropped nearly 10% in Beijing and 14.1% in Shanghai, China's richest cities. The domestic demand trump card isn't holding up. These data came after the CCP launched stimulus policies. Shanghai and Beijing both introduced action plans in March to boost consumption, but the outcome shows these efforts failed. Many netizens say Shanghai is now deeply affected by the consumption downgrade. No wonder people say the environment is bad this year. Let me show you Shanghai's current prices. 2 Lee bags, 2 Skechers, a Tanto, and a pair of Vans. All 6 items cost just 341.8 yuan. I even got Skechers for 70. The consumption downgrade is real. Tonight past 7 p.m. I walked around Guangming Street. It was nearly empty. The saying, "It's harder to keep a shop than be a widow," truly fits. No people, no business. How can anyone survive like this? This year, many non-locals have left Shanghai. Good apartments that once had people scrambling to rent them now sit empty, no matter how cheap the price. It's a pity to see such places vacant. Suddenly, it feels like the whole city is trying to sell. Friends no longer ask where you bought your house, but whether you've listed it and how much the price has dropped. Owning a home has become a joke. Secondhand listings in Shanghai hit 220,000. There are pictures to prove it. Thousands more appear daily. Old houses within the inner ring are slashed by millions but still get no interest. Outside the outer ring, even new homes with discounts and free parking can't sell. Shanghai's economy has collapsed. Countless young people are unemployed, burdened with debt, and families face bankruptcy in this economic winter. A netizen shared his story on overseas media. He was born in Minhang district, from a working-class family. He used to be a marketing manager in Lujiazui. A decade ago, he looked out from a high-rise in Pudong, dreaming of a bright future in Shanghai, changing homes, starting a family, living decently. Today, he stands on a cold street, staring at the deserted Nanjing Road, shuttered RT Mart, and locked shops, his heart filled with chill. Shanghai is terrifying now. Over 70% of physical stores have shut down. That means out of 100 stores on a street last year, only 30 remain, and even those are barely holding on. A customer of mine who runs a clothing store said it clearly. After warmly serving customers, they just buy the same thing online. He used to own 20 clothing shops in Shanghai. Now only one remains, on Nanjing Road Pedestrian Street. It's hard to imagine, when physical stores disappear, so does the city's spirit. If you come to shop in Shanghai and see nothing but closed shutters, what would it look like? Honestly, Shanghai's economy feels worse than that of third-tier cities this year. I work as a business license agent, so I'm sensitive to customer flow. A colleague at a financial company asked if I noticed fewer people around. He's right. Streets are empty, malls are deserted, and even the vegetable vendor said the same. People are just gone. I can't figure out where they went. Migrant workers are vanishing from Shanghai, and even locals are tightening their belts. Wealthy business investors are buried in debt and in pain. This isn't just Shanghai. It's happening in first-tier cities across China. A man from Guangdong hasn't found a job in over 15 days. This isn't a rumor. It's real. Watch this video. He's been searching for over 10 days and still nothing. With the escalating trade war, many foreign companies face heavy export taxes. Orders are down, demand is weak. Where can jobs come from? I walked around our fourth-tier city recently. By 9 a.m., the building materials market was deserted. On the busiest main street, brand stores had mostly shut down. Restaurants, markets, malls, and housing offices were all empty. Even banks shouting promotions drew no one. The industries tied to daily life are collapsing, and the suffering of ordinary people will be etched into 2025's history.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.